Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Mixed Text and Politics. Nutjob Sheila Jackson is at it again. She introduced a bill to combat white supremacy. Let's check this out from the New York Post. U.S. Texas Rep. Sheila Jackson has introduced a bill aimed at fighting white supremacy by attaching criminal charges to certain forms of hate speech. The Texas Democrat introduced the Leading Against White Supremacy Act of 2023 to prevent and prosecute white supremacy inspired hate crime and conspiracy to commit white supremacy inspired hate crime. The conspiracy edition means people who use hate speech online could face criminal charges under the legislation even if they don't act on their threats. Let's see. That includes a person who publishes material advancing white supremacy, white supremacist ideology, antagonism based on replacement theory, or hate speech that vilifies or otherwise directed against any non-white person or group. The text of the bill specifically lists social media platforms as one area where hate speech could result in criminal consequences if that hate speech motivates another person to go out and commit a racist crime against others. Well, there's a problem with this piece of legislation that will likely, there's actually no chance of it passing the House since we control the House now. See, the most recent hate-filled mass shooting, a 19-year-old white supremacist gunned down 10 people inside a Buffalo supermarket in a predominantly black neighborhood that he targeted for his demographics. Okay, I understand there are things like that that are happening, which are very crazy, and they shouldn't happen, and it's wrong. Hate crime under any circumstance is wrong, but where this legislation is, where it's faulty and it's stupid, is that it's only targeting white people. Now, there's a problem with that. Okay, Asian hate crimes increased 339% nationwide. This is for 2021. Now, the problem is that there are other race groups targeting non-white people, and there are other races targeting white people specifically. I mean, look at this. New York City man pleads guilty to hate crime and death of Asian man, district attorney says, from CNN. So this guy here, more than a year after an Asian man died after being assaulted in New York City, Gerard Powell pleaded guilty in his death and will serve 22 years in prison, the Manhattan District Attorney offices announced Thursday. He pleaded guilty to one count of manslaughter and first-degree hate crime as a part of a plea deal. In April 2021, Yao Pan Mao was collecting cans when he was approached from behind in an East Harlem corner, struck in the back and after fell to the ground, kicked in the head multiple times according to police. Mao, who is I hope I'm saying that right, who was Chinese American, was unresponsive and in the state of unconsciousness since being admitted to a hospital to be treated for his head injuries. He died from his injuries 8 months after the attack in December 31st, 2021. Now let's take a look at Gerard Powell. And what does he look like? Gerard Powell is a black man, as you can see in this photo right here. My question is, why is she not saying all hate crimes are a problem? No matter what race you are, white on black, black on whites, black on black, which is a very big problem, as we see from FBI statistics that 90% of blacks are killed by other blacks. I mean, I don't know why she's not addressing this problem. Now, a lot of this I know is not motivated by hate. A lot of it has to do with gang violence and drugs and things like that in inner cities. But it's still a very big problem, which I have never heard her address. I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I've never seen this woman come and address black on black crime. It's always for these leftists, for these liberals, it always has to be a white supremacist, a Klansman, or anybody attacking any race. It's geared towards white people. They always talk about these white supremacists, but I've never seen a white supremacist in my life. I mean, I don't know any. They're out there, and yes, like you saw what happened when with the shooting in the black neighborhood at the supermarket. But you also see uh, this situation here. I've seen multiple videos. I've seen multiple videos of a black man attacking an Asian person in New York City. You've seen white people getting beat up for being white by black people. I've seen that online. Why are these problems not being addressed by this woman? It's because she is pandering to minorities and not just looking at things as a collective. Hate crimes, no matter where they come from, are wrong. And look, I don't think she realizes that most people, most white people, do get along with other races. We're not some completely divided nation like they want us to think. You walk around, if I go anywhere, to a restaurant, to a bar, a mall, wherever, to Walmart, you see all kinds of races, people walking past each other, talking to each other, people working in certain places with no issues. I mean, I don't know why they think that it's just we're some completely divided nation where we hate each other. If you watch the media, yes, you they portray that, at least the left leaning media. But me being a minority, I'm married to a white woman. My in laws are white. I work with white people. I work for a small business owned by a white woman. So this whole notion that there's a bunch of Klansmen walking around and a bunch of white supremacists targeting blacks and other minorities is, I think it's a little misguided because most people get along. I can go anywhere. I can go to North Carolina. I can go to California. I can go to Vegas, and I talk to all kinds of people. I've never had a problem with uh, white supremacy or a Klansman coming after me. I'm not saying I haven't I haven't crossed these people at all, but I know somebody who thinks that 70% of white people hate him. This is the black guy I know, and that's just not true. I don't believe that 70% of white people hate blacks or want to harm blacks. I don't think that's true at all. Based on what I've seen in my interactions with people on a daily basis, that's not the case. So I forgot to mention that this woman, I know a former pilot, and he says that this woman is absolutely disgusting. She's rude to the flight attendant. She's just a nasty person, and nobody likes when people that have flown with her, the flight attendants, the pilots, they can't stand this woman. She is a pig, according to this guy. And things like this. I mean, she's always been a pig in my mind. But by somebody I know personally that has come across this woman, she's absolutely disgusting. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop the video right there. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.